Alright y'all, so today we have a little bit of a follow-up video to the most popular video on this channel, and that is how to tell if your cat is a Bombay breed. This is Binks, he is a male Bombay. I caught him in a little bit of a compromising situation here. Sorry buddy, not to be showing your business like that. But I was getting a lot of comments on that video, and it was people giving me the qualities of their cats and basically asking, can my cat still be a Bombay? Can my cat be a Bombay if it has a white spot or, you know, some other pattern? And I was gonna go ahead and make this video to kind of give the distinct differences between the Black American Shorthair and the Bombays, because those are the cats that look the most similar, I would say, out of most black cats. And there are two, or really a lot, but two main key differences between them that I was gonna point out in this video. Now, don't be disappointed. I feel like a lot of people, they look at the Bombay breed as sort of like, has some kind of mystique behind it. And it is a more rare breed, but all black cats and cats in general are beautiful. And if your cat's not a Bombay and he's a Black American Shorthair, that's still an awesome breed, still one of the most friendly cat breeds, and one of the most underrated cat breeds because it is a black cat. And black cats are so historically, kind of hated on by a lot of people, and there's a lot of superstition behind them, as many of you know. So I think if you have any black cat, Bombay or not, it's a win in my book. So I'm gonna go ahead and show some of the key differences here. The main one that I didn't cover in the original video is when you touch their fur. So Binks here, I'm touching his fur, and it's kind of hard to describe it, but it's just silky smooth. Like, it feels like touching, I'm not really sure how to really best describe it, but it feels like touching some super soft material as he goes through my feet here. And it doesn't feel like fur. It feels like one cohesive piece of fur almost. And I see a lot of Black American Shorthairs, they have a lot more choppy hair, it seems, or they'll be more likely to have long hair. Bombays, never. It's always gonna be kind of like a charcoal black and very silky. Now, the female Bombays tend to be a lot shinier, and Binks is still really shiny, but they all have this just smooth, he is not like that right now. They all have this smooth feeling to them that it's just kind of something you have to feel to understand what I mean, but you'll know exactly what I mean if you feel your cat and it feels that way. So that's number one. He's very playful right now, so I picked the worst time to do this video. Hey buddy, here we go. Not my feet, do this. So, now the second thing I wanted to mention, now it's gonna be kind of hard to give an example of this. Look at me. Up. His eyes. As you can see, if you can see, there we go. His eyes, like I mentioned in the last video, he has a corneal ulcers and scars in his eyes because when he was a baby, and I mean like baby, he had a bunch of eye infections that I had to take care of. And since he had so many from before I even found him in his litter when he was abandoned, I didn't really get to him in time, and he has some permanent damage to his eyes. It doesn't affect his vision, it seems, but it does look like he has sort of like this discoloration quality to his eyes. But what you will notice about the Bombays is their eyes are a little bigger than the average cat's. I know I really couldn't show it that good there because he's kind of all over the place right now, but you will notice that their eyes are just a tad rounder than, and larger, not much, but slightly, than the average cat's would be. And the other thing I want to mention with the eyes, I did touch on this in the last video, but I want to get a little more specific here, add a couple more examples, is the color of the eyes. And Bombay cats, there are two different kinds of Bombay breeds. There is an American Bombay breed and a British Bombay breed. The American Bombays, which is what Binks is, can have either copper eyes or a really dark yellow. Now, his are copper. Sometimes I can see him in the natural light when, I can sort of see past his opaqueness that's come from his corneal ulcers. And when I see his natural color, it's like a copper brown almost. It's really a beautiful color. For the British Bombays, they can be green. So any three of those colors, if your cat's eye is not any three of those, and you're wondering if your cat's a Bombay, it's not a Bombay. So the two main things I just mentioned are the silkiness of the jet black coat, and then the larger eyes, as well as the eye color. And the last thing I'll touch on that I did touch on in the last video, but in case you didn't see that video, is when you pick up a Bombay, I'm not gonna do that to him right now because he's eating, but if you pick up a Bombay, even when they're kittens, I mean, he's over a year old at this point. He's about, wow, I made that video so long ago. He was only 6 months in that video, but he's probably almost a year and a half old, maybe a little more. So with that, he's kind of growing more into his full adult size. However, even as kittens, if you pick them up, I would say around the two month period and past, you will be surprised at how stocky and muscular these cats are. And just in general, they're very stocky and very strong cats. I would say compared to any other cat I've had, like when he grabs something, like, grabs onto me or something like that, he has a tight grip and he is not weak. For a cat, I mean, it's about as strong as a cat would get, of this size at least, I'd imagine. So they're very stocky, very strong. When they grab onto you when they're playing, they might be a little hard to get off you. So those are the main differences between Bombays and Black American Shorthairs. I will say once again, doesn't matter what breed it is, your cat is still beautiful. Don't be disappointed if your cat's not a breed that happens to be a little more rare. All cats are individuals and weird and quirky and amazing and funny and all of the above in their own ways. So it's not that big of a deal. So say goodbye, Binks. Hey, say bye-bye.